Hey, it's Jason with jamzDOTnet. I'm here with my 1991 Chevrolet G20 conversion van. And if you follow our channel, jamzDOTnet, that's JAMZDOTNET, which is all about cars, DIY, and adventures, you would have seen I've been doing a lot on this G20 conversion van. Today, I actually installed a portable AC, so when I'm at different sites and swaps, I can have AC in the van. But what's been bothering me are just the age and some of these spots that have paint that has came off. I went to a body shop and I had it quoted to get that fixed and some of this back here and some of this up here. And you know, they were kind of hesitant to do it and they gave me a price of $3,000. That's about as much as I paid for the van. Granted, I put a lot of money in it. I just cannot justify spending that kind of money on this van. What I can justify spending, though, is a DIY rattle can touch-up job. It's probably not going to be perfect, but I'm going to give it a shot and talk about using AutomotiveTouchUp.com, also Micro Finishes, the parent company, and how I got some paint that I'm going to attempt to touch this up on. Stay tuned. Let's have at it. So I independently just went out and did some research, and I found this company called Automotive Touch Up. Their parent company is Micro Finish, and they sell base coats that match your Chevy or your Ford or any vehicle on the planet. And you can basically get your paint code from your VIN or from the door panel, and they can sell you a rattle can to fix it. My concern is this is an aftermarket conversion van with some paint that may not be exactly normal. I'm assuming this is the base coat, which is the blue. I also got one that looks like this, and I'm gonna give my absolute best to touch some of these areas up, fully aware it's probably not gonna be perfect, but I think it will be better. I'm also fully aware that, you know, probably in a few years, it might have an issue again. It is flaking. So I'm going to sand this down a bit, get some of the loose stuff off, and then I'm going to go ahead and apply the base coat and let it dry, and then I'm going to apply some seal coat on it, all which is in a kit that they provided for me when I purchased it. Okay, so I got an assortment of stuff here. This one is base coat 47, Chevy 47. This is 22, and it seems as though 47, it is not perfect, but it seems like that is probably my best option. I think anything would be better than this gray, but I guess we're gonna find out, because this other one's definitely too bright. It also came with clear coat, which I'll put on after everything's nice and dry. And it came with, I bought 2 packs of sandpaper. This has anywhere from 180 grit, 320, 600, 1000, 1500. And I'm going to be using the 320. I will be using the 600. And the 1000 is wet sanding. So I'm going to take one of them a little bit rougher and kind of sand these edges, and then I'm going to do some wet sanding with the 1000, and then the 1500 is the final sanding clear coat. So I'm just using the 600 grit here just to kind of hit the areas where it was pilling, to get any of that loose off, because I want to try to be as smooth in that area as possible. Now I'm trying to not mess up with the logo, the vinyl decal on this side, if at all possible. I'm not a painter. If you're a body guy watching this, you're probably cringing. I'm just trying to make it work. So it's good. These flakes are in a much better spot than they were. All right, I'm not going to do any more besides these 3 sections initially. I don't want to get too carried away. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is wet sanding. I'm gonna get some paper towels real quick. Okay, so I have a lot of it taped off for this area that I'm gonna try it with to begin. Again, I'm kind of fully aware it's not gonna be perfect, but I mean, I tried boatloads of ways to get this paint color coat matching without much luck, and these are the 2 I narrowed it down to. That's clearly not it. And this is why paint shops are so expensive, my friends, right? And I bought a really nice thing from this company to go on the bottle, but it does not work. It was supposed to snap on here and spray. It doesn't. So disappointing they sell that. It doesn't even work. But here goes nothing. What the heck, right? What the heck? Alright. Shook this a whole lot already, but here goes nothing. My first time painting, everybody. It looks like matching somewhat to me. Finger touched it. This is a really hard thing to it's really hard to squirt. You gotta make sure your finger doesn't touch it. I mean, maybe I'm not picky. I think it's looking all right. Rattle can special here. Said take breaks in between every few seconds, so that's what I'm doing. I'm gonna let this chill out. I'm not gonna do any more right now. But it looks a whole lot better than the nasty gray, and this seems to be blend halfway decent. Okay, so I have let this dry for quite some time. I am now going to apply the Automotive Touch-Up Gloss Clear Coat. It's nice and dry. It's a good temperature day today. Humidity is a little higher than I would like, but it's not too bad. So I think that helped. I'll give this a nice shake. And I'm going to do the same process I did on the paint. Let me just make sure this. So I got the spray pattern down. So I'm going to fan it on. They say hold it like 6 inches back. So that's what I'm attempting to do. So that gives it that nice glossy look, I suppose. Alright, let's let that dry. I think that's going to be done. Now I'm going to go to the other side here and I'm going to follow the exact same process. I'm not going to show every single step. It's going to be the same on every area. But what I will do is I'll come back and show you when I remove this. And then, of course, I'll show you the other areas that I've done. Not too bad so far. Let me know what you think in the comments below. Okay, so I'm done with the 91 G20 van doing the Rattle can paint job. And I'll say, it's not perfect, but for a backyard job that was about $100 in a couple hours, it looks 50,000 times better than all that paint that was missing. Let's take a closer look. This side had a ton of gray and it was missing. You can see where I got a little carried away here. You can see where some of the paint was pilling right there, but not that close. You can see I made a goof right here, but it happens. I clear coated all of that, but from like right here, you know, it looks fantastic. This was all rusty and dented. It still is dented, but it's all painted. It looks really nice. I did up here, the window trim had a whole lot of missing paint. I did all of that there. And the front bumper area down here had a ton of missing paint. I'm shocked how good. This is base coat 47. Base coat 47 from Automotive Touch-Up Paint for this blue. And it turned out great. I did some work right here. You can see it's a little bit shinier. I added some more clear coat and touched up in here. Same thing right here. This hinge and whatnot had paint coming loose. I did that. And then I'm really proud of the back section here, which you saw me doing. That was really rough. So you tell me. I mean, it looked horrible. Now it looks a whole lot better. I'm not a painter. I've never done this before. I wet sanded. I did the dry sanding. I did as much prep as I knew to do and what I learned. And I think for what I'm using this van for, it doesn't look as goofy missing that paint in the back anymore. So I'll consider that an absolute plus. So thanks for tuning in to jamzDOTnet and touching up and kind of light restoring and doing mechanical work and bringing this 91 G20 van back to life. Now that I know how to do this, you know, I might even consider some areas on the old Silverado back there and do it as well. But let me know below. Feel free to tell me ways to improve and things that I might want to consider. Oh, and most importantly too, this whole section back here was completely missing paint. And it is all back. But in any event, what I was saying, let me know what you think. Give me any tips. And please give me a subscribe on YouTube. And if you have an old van, it might not just be worth having the pros do it. It might be worth touching up yourself. And we'll see how long this lasts. If it gives me a couple years, or it gives me 5 years or 10 years, fantastic. Thanks for watching. Subscribe and comment below. Have a great day.